So I keep hearing love is in the air right before I started this video. So I'm seeing that there is a King of Swords kind of energy. So this is energy, right? Not gender specific, but a King of Swords energy. So this is somebody who's very much in their mind, somebody who's very logical and structured, right? They are actually receiving a lot of signs. So I'm like kind of paying attention to the things that are showing up on this card. So I'm seeing like the crow being significant, a dragonfly being significant, which kind of talks about being adaptable, right? Because if you've ever looked at the dragonfly transformation, they start in the water, which water is seen as subconscious symbolically when it comes to spirituality. And then they crawl out of the water and come up into land and they grow their wings and then they take off. So this is somebody who is currently going through some type of spiritual transition. I'm hearing and I'm seeing like the death card in my eyes, mind eye. So it's kind of like they're going through this dark night of the soul, the spiritual transition, where they're starting to see these signs and synchronicities more, and they're actually starting to I guess like really acknowledge what these things are. I think in the past, I'm hearing they used to dismiss these things, or they ignored them, or they numbed out in different ways to not have to acknowledge this thing. And now they're actually acknowledging these things and seeing these things for what they are. And the owl just came to my mind's eye as well, coming back to the signs, because I think this person is also realizing that they are connected to source, divine, God, whatever you call it as well. And they're kind of coming into the realization of their own connection to source, to divinity. And this has been a really long process for them, but they are making the moves to understand this on a deeper level and do the work to connect deeper with themselves. So this King of Swords is seeing like a family, Ten of Pentacles, power couple dynamic with someone, because this came out with the Page of Swords. So this is kind of like making me think that somebody is feeling like a passionate spark towards someone. This is like a new spark, but this feels like an old connection that they're now viewing and seeing in a different way. So they're seeing like the possibility of legacy with this person. They're seeing the possibility of family with this person. I think the person I'm referring to is the collective. So there's this King of Swords energy that's seeing this new, and on the bottom of that was the emotional beginning, this new emotional beginning, this new exciting beginning, right? With the collective that I'm reading for today. So with this other individual that they have maybe not had their eye on in the past, but that is starting to shift. And, you know, as we know with the eclipse energy that's going on right now, things are being brought to the surface so that we can see things for what they really are. And so that is affecting the way that this person is now seeing this connection, and it's bringing certain truths to the surface that they weren't aware of before. So today as their like end goal. That's what I just heard. So kind of like this spark of excitement coming back, this different perspective. This is an old connection that's kind of coming around again. And we were talking about how in eclipse season, this has kind of like caused this come up of information for this person, right? And we also spoke a little bit about kind of how this person has been like recognizing their own connection to source. This person that you're connected to has been able to acknowledge their own connection to source and their own ability to see those things. I do think that the collective that I'm reading for today has already recognized their connection to source, and they have already been able to acknowledge and see those things. They've been receiving the signs and synchronicities. They've been aware of them. Confirmation from Chrissy. And so I do think that this person now is coming into that as well, and they're starting to recognize and see these things too. I do think that this is you being a spiritual guide to this other person. So you know, you were the one who started the journey. You were the one who was in awareness. They were still kind of in this numbing place. You can go back to the other video to hear more about kind of where they were and where they are now. But you were more in this kind of like guided, spiritual guided space where you are guiding other souls, right? And I'm seeing a lighthouse here. So you are a lighthouse that is guiding other souls, maybe not just in this connection, but in general with the things that you say, which are really important. And Spirit is saying to me that what you say actually means a lot, and people actually hold on to that, and to be very conscious of that and like recognize the power in your voice. Okay. It does look like this person is walking away, leaving behind a bunch of burdens that they had previously, right? So I think this is like the numbing out energy that they were numbing out previously. And this is also like their shadow self that they're starting to face, and they're starting to move through. And if you can see, she's kind of like walking away, right? And she is carrying the burdens, but she's starting to like move away and do the work to kind of get rid of them, right? That's kind of how I'm seeing this card. I do think that the person that you're connected to has been in kind of like this hermit energy. They've been really like looking inward, soul searching, truth seeking, that kind of thing. And that's kind of what's bringing them back around to seeing this connection in a different way, in a new light. Let's see what else, Spirit. Is there anything else that the collective needs to hear right now? So my card did fall on the ground. Here we go. So the Six of Wands fell down. And so I do see this as the collective kind of coming into a, like you're coming into your power. You're starting to see who you are and what you're capable of. You're protecting your energy. You're standing in your strength. You're starting to see the confidence and the power and what you're capable of creating for yourself, and also the protection that you're able to maintain for yourself as well, and the peace you're able to maintain for yourself. No matter the energies around you, you're recognizing that you have control over yourself and what you choose to put yourself in, right? And this recognition and this being seen, and this could be in a lot of different ways, but I've heard social media, I heard releasing maybe books, I heard like starting new courses, kind of you're being able to be recognized and seen by many people because you're closing out a cycle, which is what I just heard while I looked at this, is bringing in this kind of energy. I mean, and also you've done a lot of healing. You've done so much healing that has brought you like clarity and understanding and recognition about who you are and where you're going. And I think that that's attracting this person in. So it's 444 on my timer, and I'm going to end the message here, but this is about this person making plans to come speak with you. This is about this person making plans on how to come towards you. I don't think that they've figured it out exactly yet, but I do think that they are starting to move towards you because you're in Queen of Pentacles energy. You're stable. Yeah. And there is a breakthrough, and that's the truth. Okay. So, if that resonated with you, please do leave me 444 in the comments, and follow and like for more videos. And if you would like to be a part of my regulation course, it's a emotional regulation course to help with manifestation and calming your nervous system and regulating your system. You can find that in my bio. I also have a shadow work community called the Inner Eclipse Collective, and you can find that in my bio as well. All right. Love you.